How do you feel this setting suits your strengths as a player?
Um, it's different. Usually, a lot of what I do has to do, in terms of structures in the game and knowing what's going to happen, kind of reading the game type of thing. So it is a bit different. A lot of ISO situations and a lot of spot shooting. So it's a different scenario, but something which is important in future development.
You made a big jump this season from being kind of a role player on a really good team to one of the best scorers in college basketball. How did you, what do you think happened there?
Basically just got better. Had a really good summer with the Australian team, and I think that really helped, and obviously got the opportunities, which always helps. You can't do it without those opportunities. I think the coaching style helped there, with the changing coach from Coach Orford to Coach Neal. He kind of let guys play a little bit more and a bit more offensive freedom, which I think helped and freed a lot of guys up. Those are the two things, just continuing to improve and getting the opportunities.
What do you think you can bring an NBA team right now?
I think essence of toughness, know how to play the game, know how to be smart with it all. And then I think offensively I can bring a couple of things to the table as well. But understanding, it's going to be the intangibles, what you can do with the opportunities you do have.
Go ahead.
Those intangibles you talk about, as a guy who's kind of on the bubble of getting drafted or not, how do you really showcase yourself and get yourself from being just one of those, on the bubble guys to being someone who teams want to go after?
Just doing the little things. It's going to be, setting great screens, making good reads, getting other guys open, knowing that you're not going to be the star of the team like you were in college. So it needs to be the other things that you do bring to the table, and being able to help a team win by not necessarily putting the ball in the basket every time.
Are there teams you look at and think maybe that you'd be a good fit with that group? Do you see any good fits for you in the NBA?
I think there's a number of good fits. It all just depends on the structure that each team has, but I think there is a number of teams which I feel like I can contribute right away, and then obviously there's going to be certain things to get used to in the NBA style of play, but I think I can make those adjustments pretty well and contribute right away.
It's obviously very exciting. A lot of guys look forward to this day for a long time. And just raise your head. How exciting really is this to be finally doing this and getting this thing going?
It's really cool. Something you see other players go through. Basically all your life is the whole draft process, and you don't really know what it's like till you get here and get to experience these things. So it's really, really an awesome thing to be able to get here finally and play against the other top competition. Thank you.
How do you think the development system here in the U.S. compares with Australia? There's some guys like Joe Ingles, for example, who decided to stay home. Was that a debate for you, college versus maybe going pro, playing in the NBL?
At that stage, I wasn't really good enough to play in the NBL, so it wasn't as much of an option as it was for a guy like Joe Ingles, who obviously contributed right away at the NBL level due to his talent. There's plenty of paths which are going to be successful for guys. I think the NBL is big on development too, but the bottom line is if you're not really playing a lot, it's going to hinder your development status. So I think that's the biggest thing in terms of coming to the US is the opportunity to play more, which I think comes along with playing against a bunch of college-age guys versus professional men who have been there for a while, and the minutes aren't going to open up right away.
The concept of having a stretch power forward is something that's become really prevalent in today's NBA. You didn't shoot a lot of threes in college. Do you think that you'll be able to extend your game out to the NBA line? Is that something that's going to be necessary for you to make a team and stick long term?
I think it's definitely something that will help, and I think long term I can do it. As you said, didn't shoot many this year. Just kind of fell in love with the mid-range jump shot, which I was pretty successful at this year, and kind of added that to my game a lot more this year in terms of shooting that shot. So I think in the future I can definitely continue to add range to that. And obviously it's a much harder shot to guard. It's a three-point shot, especially in pick and pop situations and stretching the floor a lot more. So definitely something that will help in the future, just depending on how soon I can do it.
Defensively and rebounding wise, how do you show NBA teams that you're going to be able to contribute in those areas adequately enough to get on the floor? And in this type of setting or even in the workout setting with them?
Just by doing just that. I mean, defending, rebounding, being physical on defense. Obviously going to be going against bigger bodies, quicker guys, so just move your feet and basically stay in front of guys while contesting shots, and then using your body and your instincts to grab those rebounds.